See one just under the water. That is a massive log. It's been flattened and it's on a slight angle running into the water. Just there. Next to it there's another flat, and that's a keel run down the middle. Yeah, you imagine now these larger vessels on rollers straight down that slipway. Halfway through that 12 years, a series of puzzles. Really good ships start coming off the slips down there. Escape attempts ceasing almost completely. They build that prison, they hardly ever use it. A thriving trading contraband that's so good convicts are actually trying to get here, to get in on it. A 90% drop in the flogging rate, seemingly overnight. David Hoy, that's Scott from Dundee, the shipwright, what's he doing here? You probably tweaked to that one. Yeah, well, what about this? A courthouse used as a dormitory. Yeah, so what happened here? Well, Matthew Brady, him and his gang, the murderer of Georgie Rex, they can take some of the credit. Real martyrs for the cause, eh? The problem for them is... what? Well, they're dead. Yeah. A few of you convicts wanted more control over and above the mischief-making, the illicit trade, the escapes, the conspiracies. You launch a three-pronged attack up there on the powers that be up at Government House. You test out the lines of command. Here, first one between Commandant and Doctor. Dr. Daniels, one of the mad doctors. You witness him stealing bread from the rations. Pinching bread. With one of your friends from the clerk's office, you take note of every crumb he steals. And the anomaly in the rations book is presented to the bookkeeper, Thomas Lomprier, on the 30th of March. Now he's got to sign off on the books the next day, right? It's too late to cover up for the doctor. Lomprier's got no choice between form Butler, and Commandant Butler sacks the mad Dr. Daniels for stealing rations. Now, that's 2 doctors down. Good job, Major Champ, where are you? Where are you, Major? Keeping a low profile. You're in trouble again. Not you personally, it's that dreadful fellow Private James. 4 convicts happened to witness Private James in flagrante delicto with the Reverend Schofield's goat. Military discipline on the island disintegrates. Now, the Commandant's not happy with you, Major, and you are eventually sacked for too openly trading with the convicts. You'll be right, you turn up 20 years later, Tasmania's first Premier. You attack the shipyard. A sloop taken out for a test run sinks. With the loss of 3 convict lives, well, that's collateral damage, is it, lads? It's a war after all. The inquiry found that the ballast in the bottom of that sloop was not square, rough quarry rock, but beautiful round river rocks. Imported for the purpose, lads. Now, if you've got round rocks in your ballast, when your boat starts rocking and rolling, so will your ballast roll. You will sink. That's sabotage, is it not, lads? And for Butler, it's the last straw. He's an ambitious fellow, but he ain't going to negotiate with you. His little empire's unravelling before his very eyes. He resigns. And into the breach steps David Hoy. Hey, this is Scott from Dundee. He's trained in the shipyards of Boston, Massachusetts. Now, that is world-class boat building at that time. Well, David Hoy over there in Boston gets wind of a magic boat building timber called... He can almost smell it over there in Boston. He's young, he's skilled up, he's ambitious, and he's independently wealthy. So he travels halfway around the world chasing this magic timber. Sinks a fortune into shipbuilding yards down there in Hobart, in Battery Point, still there. Yeah, but he cannot get a hold of a good source of timber down there. Nor can he get a workforce. So what does he do? He gets the job here as the shipwright. The source of the timber, the potential workforce. Now he is ambitious. He wants to be here. He's travelled a very long way. He negotiates with you. What do you want, lads? How about we try and organise a rum ration, eh? Yeah. I'll talk to the new commandant. Tobacco ration, lads. I'll see what I can do. Fishing, maybe just on the weekends, eh, lads? I'll talk to the new commandant. Hey, Butler's gone. See if we can organise his courthouse for you. What about a drop in the flogging rates, lads? Yes? Yes or no? Yes? You will have to work with me on that one. Hey, lads, have we got an enterprise bargaining agreement? And this place switches. From that place of hell and dread becomes a place of education and training. With David Hoy down here on the slips, you lot, you're learning how to be carpenters, trenel mooters. How you're working the forges down there, sail making, you're learning about all the timbers, how the celery top is strong and flexible, makes a great mast, put a decking in. The king belly pine splitting into 12-foot planks, you're discovering the joys of the hewn pine as David Hoy discovers them. Hey, it's like Australia's first TAFE college here. And over the next 5 years, 95 ships and boats come off the slips down there. It's the most productive shipyard in the whole Australian colony at that time. Hey. Well, Governor Arthur ain't having a bar of that. You're here for punishment, not prosperity. And he begins to build port. Arthur, right in the style of that prison up there, yeah? They knew by then it just sent people mad. They went ahead and built Port Arthur like that anyway. Now, 1832, escape attempts begin to increase here, but now you're not escaping from here so much as escaping being sent to Port Arthur. January 1834, she's all done and dusted here. Anything that can be packed up, packed into a ship, everything and everything. It's taken down to Port Arthur. There's one last ship here on the stock, the Frederick. It's a brig. And there is a skeleton crew of military and 10 convicts left here to finish the Frederick. Yeah, you finish her, pack everything up then, you take the Frederick down to Macquarie Heads. What do those 10 convicts do? They pinch it. They put everyone ashore, divide the rations, and they sail the Frederick to Chile. Yep, where they live for a whole year as free men till the British Navy turn up looking for them. You will not escape and get away with it. There was a global alert put out for those 10 convicts. 4 of them are handed back to the British. They're sent back to England, retransported out to Hobart, found guilty of piracy, mutiny, sentenced to be scragged, hanged. 2 years of appeals, and those convicts, they managed to wriggle out of it. Now there's a story, which I don't have time to tell you today, so hey, this is a little advert. You want to know that story? You're going to have to come and see the ship that never was. Folks, this is a theatre show we do back in Strawn, 5:30 every afternoon. Folks, we do a full reenactment. We'll build the Frederick, we'll pinch her, we'll sail her to Chile. And if you've enjoyed the theatrics of the tour, we sure do crank it up a couple of gears for the show. All right, that'll do you. Thank you very much.